Glad to have you with us here on Mirror. Now the show is called Big Story. I'm Tanvi Shukla and these are the headlines. Special CBI court acquits all accused in the mega 2G scam, dismisses CBI's case against former Telecom Minister A. Raja, DMK leader Kanimori, amongst others. After conducting a sting operation himself, Maharashtra Charity Commissioner cracks the whip. Criminal case filed against a hospital in Mumbai for denying treatment to poor patients despite being a charitable hospital. Family of the newborn who was wrongly declared dead in Delhi's Max Hospital moves court, seeks court-monitored investigation and a status report from the police. More than 100 women allegedly locked up and sexually abused in Delhi Spiritual University. High Court orders CBI to probe the matter. Youth allegedly abducted and beaten up by Rajasthan minister's sons. But the minister claims his sons weren't even in city that day. No action yet against the VVIP sons. Army begins construction work of foot-over bridges at 3 Mumbai railway stations, says they're confident that they will complete the work by January 31st. After Bollywood, Fringe now targets a Bengali film. Hindu right-wing group protests divorce of 2 characters called Ram and Sita in a film. They call for a ban on the screening. 88 people duped of 27 lakh rupees in Mumbai. ATMs of 2 private banks skimmed, money withdrawn in another city. Straight to the top focus this hour. We are a country of self-styled godmen. Asaram, Falhari, Gurmeet Singh, Nityanand, and the most latest, of course, the one in Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh. All of these have one thing in common. All of them have been accused of exploitation in the name of faith. All of them self-proclaimed godmen running ashrams, accused of innumerable nefarious activities from financial fraud to rape and even outright murder. These self-proclaimed messengers of God have exploited the blind faith of gullible masses. Tonight we bring you 2 more such stories. In Delhi, the High Court has ordered a CBI investigation into an ashram in North Delhi where girls were allegedly confined and sexually exploited. The allegations came to light after a raid was conducted at the Adhyatmik Vishwavidyalaya on Tuesday evening. And we understand that there was a lot of hostility even towards the police team that was raiding the ashram. What has been found is that over 150 women were forcefully being kept in this building, in this so-called ashram. There was huge amount of drugs and injections that were also recovered. The allegations are that they were exploited, sexually assaulted, and even treated in a very, very inhuman way. Milan is with me and she's got more details. Milan, what have been the findings of the investigative team that finally raided this so-called ashram?
That's right. The DCW team and empaneled member of the lawyers had filed a petition in the High Court there saying that this particular ashram is treating women and minor children in the most brutal way possible. An inhuman treatment of little girls, minor girls and women is taking place inside the Adhyatmik Vishwavidyalaya, which is a spiritual university and founded by Virendra Dev Dikshit, who is on the run at this point. The High Court had told the DCW panel along with the lawyers to go inside the ashram and investigate, and the findings of the investigation were horrid, wherein little girls who had been raped and women who had been sexually molested, and those who were living here had been trapped in this particular ashram for many years now, at least 10 years, some of them, and many of whom were not even allowed to meet their families once they came here in this ashram there, and also looking at the fact that half of them were being drugged with various kinds of substances and were not able to say anything about their plight. Now, as we speak, the DCW team, along with the Delhi police team, is conducting a raid inside and trying to rescue many of these girls who are mostly minor and other women as well who have been told by the High Court to be moved from here along with minor women.
So, who is the one who was really running this ashram, and where is the now those set of people who are in charge here, Milan?
Well, the founder of the ashram, Virendra Dev Dikshit, is not here in Delhi at this point, is what we know from the police sources. However, there are managers. There's a woman called Ruchi Gupta who was running this ashram, who's already been arrested and in police custody at this point. However, the shocking revelation of these women and children being held captive in a residential area of Rohini is disturbing at this point, and the spiritual university that Dikshit so thought that he was running was actually a sex racket where women were being sold and bought from these premises. And currently, the police and the medical team is conducting medical tests on these women, and rape, the allegations of rape and charges of rape are being leveled by some of these captive girls. One of them who was able to file an FIR as well. So currently, the police is looking into the investigation of this entire matter there.
All right, Milan, thanks for joining us. In fact, I've got Pramila Nesargi, activist, on the phone line with me. Ms. Nesargi, what do you think needs to be done to safeguard people from such predators who roam around and then pick up on people's vulnerabilities in the name of religion or faith?
See, it's astonishing. You know, it shocks one's conscience. The name is misleading. I only wish they should not have kept that name Adhyatmik. I can't really understand how they can mislead. In the guise of this Adhyatmik and spiritual institution, doing all illegal activities, I think this is an eye-opener, and I think the government must take note of it. There will be many more institutions in the country which might not have come into light. This is one such institution where it is because of the raid, all these things have come to light, and I am happy that people like you and your media is highlighting these things so that people can wake up and then complain in such institutions. I had also come across one such institution in Bangalore. Then also we have complained, and the inquiry was sought to be taken up. I do not know what has happened after I do not know about the result. My only feeling is it is not only these spiritual institutions and even the remand homes and the other wherever the women are kept, they are being misused. I had one occasion in one of the central jails when I as a chairman, when I visited one of the victims, she was in the jail. I saw a child who was about 2 years old. I asked her, how long you have been there? She said, I've been there in the jail for 5 years. I was shocked. The child was 2 years. Then it came to light that warden himself produced her, and such institutions were many. So I only feel in all institutions, wherever women are brought, maybe remand home or maybe any other spiritual institution or any hospital or any, there must be some sort of monitoring agency to take care of these things. Otherwise, women are not safe anywhere. I am extremely happy about what you have been doing, and your media especially highlighting these aspects. And I only wish that the government will take note of these things, and whoever law would be brought about taking note of this, and see that women are protected in all spheres, wherever they are, whether at home or anywhere, wherever they are.
Yes, and please do stand with us, and I've got Yogita Bhyan also joining us on the phone line. But this is, I just want to read out some of the details of this case. The claims were corroborated by several women. Many of them were, from various villages in Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, and they say that they would be told that if they interacted with the outside world, they would be committing a sin. They kept telling them that they would not survive if any of what was going on inside was actually told to people outside. The Baba had told me that I was one of his 16,000 Ranis. He raped me on several occasions, says one of the survivors, a victim from this institute. Yogita Bhyan, one also wonders, where do these ashrams, or whatever sanstha's get access to drugs, to injections, these psychotropic drugs, the methods that they use to hypnotize people and then exploit them? It looks like there is absolutely no checks on the kind of medicine access they have.
Because, there is no fear of law to them, because they think they are gurus, they are babas, and they are so-called, God, and, nobody can touch them. There is no fear, basically, because they have so many followers. Then they are so protected, because if you raise finger on them, there are many followers, they are ready to die for them. or they are ready to do what we saw in Baba Ram Rahim's case in Chandigarh. So they are so well protected that they actually become above all, and they think they can, do anything under the sun. So this is what they do on the cover of being a Baba. They just exploit women. I think that's the end fruit they want. They just want to exploit women, and they are womenizers, and they turn Babas just to fulfill these cheap hobbies or whatever you can say. They exploit women. This is exactly what they want to do. And there is no regulation in our government. There is no tap on these so-called Baba business, So, I mean, definitely they are mushrooming, and people are also following them like anything. And because there is no check and balance about these people mushrooming. So, I mean, where our government has to step in when they keep a tap on every new business. Why can't they keep a tap on these so-called new Babas coming every day, popping out? I mean, there has to be some authenticity, some kind of a balance, some kind of a pulling needs to be done. Some checks, if not anything else, at least they should come. At least go and visit these ashrams, check what is happening around.
Yeah.
Why we do not enter when it comes to religion? Why our policing, judiciary, everything stops there in the name of religion? So I just wanted to understand. So this thing has to end. This fear factor of religion, which stops us from, taking legal action, and all this has to go. Otherwise, till the time we don't have any control over these things.
Absolutely, Yogita Behana. Thank you for speaking to us. Let me take that question back to Pramila Nesargi as well. Pramila Nesargi, how do we ensure that there is a streamlined crackdown, especially because in many of these cases in the past as well, we've seen that they have a very strong political patronage or support? Okay, we seem to have lost that line. Let me take that question to Yogita Behana as well. Yogita Behana, that becomes one of the biggest hurdles, isn't it? Whether it was Gurmeet Ram Rahim or Baba Rampal or even Asa Ram, the kind of political patronage that they build for themselves is what ends up protecting them later.
Absolutely. If you really look at the whole gambit, these Babas are nothing more than vote banks, because they have followers, and once the Baba says that vote for a particular party, and that the followers are so blind that they trust the Baba, not looking at the performance of the particular person or the political party, they just go by this. So, I mean, it's a ready-made platform for these politicians. So, who would like to take a chance? Definitely, they would let it be, even if they know there is something wrong happening, such a thing which is like a sex racket. I'm sure Delhi government must have been knowing about this. How can something like this be being there, mushrooming? Government doesn't know about it. How come High Court has to intervene just to expose such places? I mean, are we living in actually a democratic state, or are we really just living in a banana republic? So we really need to look at the whole picture, join the dots. So there is lot of things, there are a lot of things, fishy things are there, so we need to relate to it. And definitely political parties are equal party to all these, mishappenings, whatever is happening. So we really need to equally blame them, because they only mushroom them, they only help them exist.
Well, what we can do meanwhile is try and bring out as many of these stories and the truth behind what goes on behind these four walls in any of these ashrams to the people, because only when people begin to see the reality they understand and not fall prey to any of these predators who use their faith and their vulnerabilities. Thank you, Yogita Behana, for speaking with us. Well, in this case, it was actually a panel that was led by the DCW chief. This is a panel that was appointed by the High Court, and it's the DCW chief Swati Maliwal along with the police who went there to conduct the raids. In fact, even as we speak, raids are being carried out, more search operations are continuing, and even Swati Maliwal is present on ground. This is what she told us earlier in the day.
यहाँ पे एक रैकेट चल रहा है। महिलाओं को रात में यहाँ से निकाला जाता है गाड़ियों में, फिर गाड़ियाँ आती हैं। इस तरीके से बार बार एलिगेशंस लग रहे हैं। हाई कोर्ट के डायरेक्शंस पे हम लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं। जब हम कल यहाँ पे आए तो हमारी पूरी टीम को यहाँ पे बंदी बना के रखा गया। हमारे डीसीपी भी हमारे साथ थे, मैं थी, 2 वरिष्ठ लॉयर्स थे, हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर्स थे, उसके बावजूद हमें बंदी बना के रखा गया। और हमने काफ़ी सारा सामान यहाँ से निकाला है और वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा शॉकिंग सामान है, क्योंकि वहाँ पे ऐसे भी हमें पत्र मिले हैं जिसमें वो जो लड़कियाँ हैं उनसे जबरन शायद लिखवाया गया है कि किस तरीके से उनके मतलब यौन के बारे में उन्होंने सारी चीज़ें लिखी और बाबा को ये पत्र लिखे गए हैं। और यहाँ पे इंजेक्शंस और मेडिसिन्स बहुत ज़्यादा मात्रा में रिकवर करी गई हैं। अब ये केस पूरी तरीके से सीबीआई को ट्रांसफ़र हो चुका है। आज हाई कोर्ट ने सीबीआई को ट्रांसफ़र करा है, क्योंकि उन्होंने ये पूछा है दिल्ली पुलिस से कि ये इतने सालों से जो ये चल रहा था ये कैसे चल रहा है। और एमसीडी कमिश्नर को भी डायरेक्शंस दिए गए हैं कि ये किस तरीके से इलीगल आश्रम चल रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये जो पूरा आश्रम है ये बहुत ही डराने वाला है। मैं खुद अंदर गई हूँ, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर वहाँ अंदर रुक जाऊँ तो मैं भी बच के बाहर नहीं आ सकती।
Ms. Prabila Nisargi back on the phone line with me. Ms. Nisargi, what I wanted to also understand from you is the need for crackdown on the kind of drugs and weapon access that these so-called ashrams have. Even in this case, they found various medicines that can be used for psychotropic drugs or injections that are used on people, and then those people are used in various experiments. How do they get access? Doesn't it show the lack of monitoring that we have even for access to such medicines or drugs?
These things must be controlled. Even, when there's a racket of prostitution is going on in the country, the same thing, the 8 to 12-year girls, they would not even see even the light of the sun. They would, I'm told that they're injected and they know only one thing about sex and nothing but that. That is how it's going on. And it is not that the government is not aware of it, and it's not that society is not aware of it, but nevertheless they have allowed these things to continue. It is high time that you have brought to the notice and the government must take note of it, and anybody using it, anybody selling it, anybody marketing it, all of them must be jointly and severally held responsible, and they must be prosecuted. Besides that, the precautionary measures must be taken to see that these medicines or the drugs are not available in the society. And unless the police take action, this cannot be curbed. The police are aware of it, and they are also aware as to where these medicines and these drugs are available, but they're blind to it because they get mammoth every month, they get some money. That's how these things are, unless a good officer in that this drugs division and in the health division, some intelligent officers in a strict officers are appointed, these things will not be targeted and they cannot be controlled. So my own feeling is that now that these things have come to light and the CBI is probing and how the institutions are managing these things, I think immediate action must be taken by the government to keep an eye on all these institutions and book them all jointly and severally. And it is not that people are not aware of it. Even if politicians go there, the bureaucrats go there, and they make use of the institutions for their own benefit. So it must be dealt with severely, and the punishment must be made very severe. Unless that is done, this cannot be controlled. Any drug used, any weapon that is being used, how it has come, who are responsible for it, from which source it has come, it must be dealt with.
Absolutely. Well, this is one case, Ms. Nisargi, thank you for speaking to us. This is one example. The other example is, of course, what was happening in Uttar Pradesh, where another Baba has now been accused of gang rape. And these very, very serious charges have actually been made by 4 women who were allegedly sadhuis of this ashram. The Baba is now on the run. Case has been filed. It's the same story every single time. Mr. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, also on the phone line. Mr. Singh, how is it that such instances carry on in illegal, nefarious activities, rape, molestation, even murder, and it just goes on for years inside these ashrams with the law enforcement agencies not being able to do anything about it?
It is such a tragedy, and make no mistake, in my professional career of 36 years, I have seldom seen a genuine sadhu or an ascetic. 99.9% are charlatans and cheats out to make big money and exploit the people under them. They are rapists, they are kidnappers, and try to, in fact, mesmerize the people and then fleece them of their hard-earned money. I would strongly recommend that there should be a body of a system or procedure to check on all these ashrams. They seem to be flushed with funds, with very deep pockets, and the time has now come to have zero tolerance on Rampals, Asarams, Ram Rahims, and other such swamis who are charlatans and take the people up, lead the people up the garden path. Obviously, the police have a lot to do, have their intelligence antenna up, see what nefarious activities are going on. I dare say they go on with the connivance of the local Thanedar and the local police, and whenever such ashram is exposed, the local police have a lot to answering, and they should also be asked under what circumstances these nefarious activities were going on.
Yes.
If you are oblivious, you are incompetent. If you are known and then it happened, you are complicit. In either case, you should be suspended and thrown out of the job.
Yes, absolutely. Vikram Singh, always a pleasure to speak with you. Questions must be asked of the police of that area, even of the local leaders, because it's very difficult to imagine that such activities go on for so long and people don't find out about it. As I was referring to the other case from Uttar Pradesh itself, let's also play out the reaction we got from one of the victims in that case, and of course what the police has to say now.
गलत किया गया है महात्मा के शरण में, तो वो वहाँ पे हैं, जांच भी करवा सकते हैं। वो ब्रज घाट पड़ता है, वहाँ पे रहती है उस समय, फिलहाल वहीं पर है। आप जांच कराएंगे, सब पता चल जाएगा आपको।
कुछ महिलाएं हैं जिनकी उम्र लगभग 25 वर्ष के लगभग है, उनके द्वारा उसी स्थान पर रहने वाले कुछ लोग के खिलाफ शारीरिक शोषण करने, मारपीट करने और बंधक बनाए जाने के आरोप लगाए गए हैं। इस संबंध में एफआईआर हम लोगों ने लॉन्च कर ली है। जो भी लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स हैं वो हम लोग कर रहे हैं और जो भी एविडेंसेस सामने आते हैं उसके आधार पर आकर हम लोग इसमें कार्रवाई करेंगे।
All right, so that's the big story we've been getting to you. Two more examples of Babas and ashrams who feed off people, exploit women, keep them trapped and sexually assault them within their ashrams. One case coming in from the heart of our national capital in Rohini, the other one from Uttar Pradesh. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll come back with more on the story. Welcome back. It was described as India's biggest scam of recent times, the 2G scam that almost brought the UPA government down. In fact, former Telecom Minister A. Raja, DMK leader M. Kanimori with 24 others have now been acquitted of all charges. This after CBI court judge pronounced that the prosecution had failed miserably to prove the charges. Remember, A. Raja and other telecom service providers were accused of conspiring to receive kickbacks and to favor specific companies that caused a loss of 1.76 lakh crore to the government. As things stand today, none of that was proven in the court of law.
I did not have any time today to read the judgment in full. I am going to read the judgment, then I will comment upon it. That is the allegation.
It's been a long fight for you, and you quite literally fought alone. How do you feel after that?
No, I am not alone. My party fully backed with me. I was protected as a child in the womb by my leader. My submission to the right day one is there is no case at all. The entire case is cooked up.
What the CAG, you know the numbers the CAG quoted and what was there in the charge sheet. Even that is so different, and there's a large big gap between both. Yeah. And they built a case without any basis and proof.
Ma'am, I want to know if you spoke to your father.
Yes.
And what he said.
He was very happy, and I spoke to my brother also, Paul, and he was also very happy.
And this is a sigh of relief. Any plans for the day today, going forward? Because of course, I mean,
nothing. I mean, just looking forward to go back.
And Buddy did the CBI files an appeal in this particular instance.
We faced it all these years, 7 years, and we've learned a lot. So we'll face it.
But that is a wrap on this edition of Big Story. Lots more news on the other side. Stay tuned.